reach sucks, right? Whether it's Facebook, whether it's Instagram, your organic has gone down tremendously. Now, a lot of people don't understand why this has happened. Any of the early adopters are super pissed when it comes to social, especially for Facebook and Instagram. And they're realizing that they're not reaching as many people. They can have 1 million followers and yet only 8-10% maybe, if you're lucky, actually are seeing it, right? So out of your 1 million followers that you've grown, now you only have 100,000. Same goes for if you have 10,000 followers, you might only have 1,000 to 3,000 people actually seeing the content that you're doing and putting out. You're working hard, you're pissed, you want everyone to see it because you've grown that audience and you feel that you own it. Unfortunately, doesn't necessarily belong to you. It belongs to the platforms that we're actually leveraging. In this case, Facebook, Instagram are gonna be our main topics, but at the end of the day, what happened on these platforms happens to all platforms as they grow. With a company that doesn't have a product, you end up being the product. Here's how. So because these companies like Google, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest, TikTok, anything that's a social media company, really an advertising company, doesn't have a product, what do they sell? They sell attention. They sell your eyeballs and my eyeballs, right? Anybody who's on the platform themselves is subject to being the product. So what they end up doing is that while you're scrolling on your feeds, obviously I think you've paid attention to it, you probably see it, it's every like 4 posts on Instagram now at this point. While you're scrolling on your feed, looking at your favorite content, which by the way, they put on there purposefully so that you stay on the platform longer and they can sell you more ads. They end up showing you these ads and sell them to advertisers like myself or business owners in general that run ads or campaigns online. And the business owners end up doing this in different larger enterprises because of the fact that it's so cost effective. It's cents on the dollar in comparison to traditional advertising like TV or magazines or radio. So that's how these companies actually end up making their money. So at the end of the day, their goal is to make their user experience great on the platform so that you stay longer so that they can make more money by selling ads. Before they actually got any advertisers, how were they making money, or what was their thought process to building the business? Well, let me tell you, if you're thinking about starting a social media company and you want to compete, good luck with some of these major players in the industry. This is kind of the process that they went through. They go through 3 different steps, right? So the first phase of this process is actually called the adoption phase. Now, this part of the process involves obviously the beginning user base, where they start getting all of the customers to come on, experience the platform and utilize it completely free. It is just a way for them to engage with each other, etc. But while they're also adopting these users, they're adopting advertisers and people who are actually paying in the background. Now, the payments obviously are super cheap, especially at this point, because all they want to do is prove that their platform works. So the moment that all of these advertisers start getting on the platform and utilizing it, word starts to spread, right? Businesses start inquiring about where is everyone getting this traffic from in comparison to what other people are doing. So now more advertisers come, and more advertisers come, and this is where the problem happens. Then you go to step 2. Step 2 is the price hike. Now, this is kind of a gradual process where these social platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, etc., what they'll do on their advertising side is that they're slowly begin to creep up the pricing for what it usually would cost on a typical cost per click or conversion, depending on what industry that you're actually in. They start raising up these prices to squeeze out that 50% of advertisers that completely have no idea what they're doing, right? So they were seeing results just because it was so cheap to actually do it, but they didn't have a great ad, they weren't good copywriters, they didn't have a funnel, and they had no idea what their sales process actually had to be like. So now these people start dying off, and all of the margins that they had are being squeezed out because of this price hike. Now, what happens next is actually a similar process, but a little rougher. Step 3. Boom! And then it happens. The slap. So you may be wondering, what in the world is the slap? So in comparison to phase 2, where it's kind of a gradual hike and slowly killing off those people that just had super tight margins and just can't afford what's going up, this slap is actually a major marginal difference in a price hike that ends up killing off 50% of the entrepreneurs that were causing 90% of the headaches to Facebook, to Instagram, to Google, etc. Because usually when people are spending, let's say $200, $300, or even $1,000, whatever the case may be, a month on advertising, they end up not really knowing what they're doing because they're trying it out because they hear that it works super well, etc., but they're not necessarily the advertisers that are generating the results that they need. So this price hike, they literally can't keep up with it whatsoever, even if they were doing well. And because of that, they end up being the people that reach out to support all the time, or need to contact Facebook, or cause different issues, or create a bad user experience, which Facebook cares greatly about, for their other customers. So now that price hike is eliminating all of these advertisers and entrepreneurs. So with this slap, you end up seeing that Facebook now is only primarily focusing on businesses that are spending about $1 million plus per month on ads. If you're spending less than $1 million, technically to Facebook, you're considered a small advertiser, which is wild, because I could be spending $100K a month and $1.2 million a year and still be considered a small advertiser. That just puts it into perspective, the type of money that these companies are actually pushing into on their ads. If they're spending it on this, imagine what they're also spending on TV commercials, magazines, etc. Now, we're just gonna see this process happen over and over and over on every social platform that ends up coming in place. Facebook and Instagram is no different. They, at the end of the day, need to make money in order to continue to give us the platform that we truly love and enjoy. Now, it's up to you whether you can be upset with them as a consumer, or it's up to you if you want to take advantage of the platform as an advertiser for whatever business or service that you might actually have. So the next time you start questioning or wondering why your reach is down, well, this is probably why. The supply just doesn't meet the demand for what you're seeing in terms of content. There's so much content being put out that Facebook had to switch up their algorithm so that the organic could get lower for other people, so that paid ads can come to the top. And now, even after that, it's the paid ads that are actually ran well and produced well that are actually working. So you can choose. Be a consumer and get mad that they're using up their data, or be an advertiser, take advantage of the situation and build a personal brand, build a business. It doesn't have to be just quote unquote selling a product. If you ever wanted to make an impact, you can use advertising for that as well. So go ahead, smash the like button, smash that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. We're gonna be going through anything marketing, business, and really just life related on this channel. So if you found any of this information useful, go ahead and click any of the links below. You can contact me on Instagram, Facebook, etc. You might not see my posts because organically they're down, but maybe I'll run an ad over to you. So go ahead and I'll see you on the next video.